It's Sunday night, November 1st. This is Ruth Ann Talks about her political testimony. I am going to present one political profile of one female American, and I leave the rest with you. Several months ago, I was invited to join the Annenberg election poll. This particular organization wanted me to weigh in periodically with my inclinations. Who was I inclined to choose at this particular juncture? Trump or whomever? Because at that time they didn't have a Democratic nominee, I don't think. I bailed on them, and they never contacted me again. Here's where I stand. Number one, affiliation. I'm an independent, and the reason I'm an independent is because I cannot align with either the Democratic or the Republican Party across the board on all points. There are pivotal policy issues that distinguish me one from another, so that's why I choose the independent party, quote unquote, because I prefer to exercise my right to vote without being aligned with a particular ideology. Some say, oh, you're not an independent, you're a closet liberal. No, I'm not. I'm not closet anything. So let's go down the columns here. I'm not a socialist, nor am I a nationalist. Although I recognize that certain social programs are going to sustain me into the final years of my life, however quickly or remotely they transpire. Right now, I'm looking at Social Security to supplement my pension, which is very modest. Most professionals with college degrees in this country would consider me in the poverty bracket. So Medicare and Social Security are essentials for me going forward. I'm not a nationalist, although I am a patriot. I don't think we should impose our system of government on other countries just for the purpose of acquiring resources. And that seems to be what imperialism is. So I'm not an imperial nationalist. I'm simply a patriot. I think we should respect the ideals upon which our country was founded. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, respect for our neighbor. A hot issue with women especially is that of choice. Social issues being of concern to women. I am beyond reproductive age. I never did give birth. I'm pro-life. I'm also pro-choice, but I'm pro-choice as a pro-life advocate. I actually believe that the issue of abortion should be addressed differently. I think that we should educate female children, and the boys as well, from the earliest years, so that they understand how their bodies function and understand how naturally they can observe its cyclic symptoms to avoid pregnancy. Because the motive for getting pregnant is really the elephant in the room. How many women allow themselves to get pregnant purposefully? How many get pregnant by mistake? How many get pregnant out of ignorance? I think we have three categories, and they should be addressed from the point of view of education, publicly. Taxation. I think I'm for a flat tax. I wouldn't be of the mind to determine what percentage that should be. I do know that the taxation system currently is completely out of balance, grotesquely so, and should be modified in short order. In 2016, I did something that I never had done in my life. I actually gave money to a political candidate, canvassed for that candidate, supported that candidate openly on social media. That candidate was Bernie Sanders. I went door to door and hung cards on people's doorknobs. I put a sign on my lawn for the first time in my life. When it came time to vote in the presidential election, I waited until, the last week or so. My friends who knew that I had supported Bernie said that I should support Hillary. I didn't like what had happened to Bernie. I felt that he was muscled out, and I didn't want to support any faction that would have allowed that to happen. Then the email scandal was exposed, and that reinforced my feelings. I was not going to elect Donald Trump. I was not going to be party to that monstrosity. In the end, I voted for Jill Stein. I bailed. I knew that she could not become our president. I placed my vote by default. It was a pointless vote, and those who had wanted me to vote for Hillary were really angry when I revealed to them what I had done. And they warned me of just what that action would portend. And now we're living in it, and we have been, and many are dying in it. This year, we had the option of mailing in or dropping off a ballot, and I already did. The day that Pennsylvania was ruled by the courts to permit the ballot box in our county was the day that I placed my ballot in it. In the last several days, I have been watching Fox News, specifically Tucker Carlson's broadcast concerning Hunter Biden's actions, alleged actions, and Mr. Bobulinski's testimony. It feels like 2016 all over again for me. I've already placed my vote. I can't know what's true and what is not about that candidate and his son and his family. I voted for him. I know many have, and many will. Donald Trump has allowed hundreds of thousands of people to die. That's inexcusable. No, there's no explanation other than willful, deliberate neglect. So I'm not sorry that I didn't vote for him. And in a way, I'm also not sorry that I avoided bailing this time. He has to be removed from office as far as I'm concerned, by the people. But I can't say that I'm 100% convinced going forward that I chose a man who would meet my standards, because I can't know. But here's what. This is the beauty of the democratic theory. The majority will decide. If the populace votes, if you don't vote, and we don't have a voting majority from among our total population, how will we know for certain that the majority has voted the president into office. Democracy, as a theory, in practice, can only be realized if we get a voting majority to go to the polls, to mail in the ballot. And I'm not talking about a majority of votes for a particular candidate. I'm talking about the population of the United States. We need more than half of the population to vote in order to get a clear majority rule. Thankfully, this year already, it appears that we're getting millions more than we did in 2016. The irony is, will all those votes actually be counted? It's too simplistic to say corruption is what it is. But I've never felt more powerless than I do right now, politically. Because I need to know that the decisions I make are based in verifiable data. Where's the independent counsel? Where, oh where, is the independent counsel? How supreme is the court? If you have not voted, vote. Increase that number of Americans. Make sure that you're part of the majority of our population. We need to really find out what the majority of Americans want in their president. So do it.